So welcome back from our little break there. I hope everybody got a little refreshed, went to the bathroom, whatever. And the second half of our call is entitled Perfecting and the Importance of Perfecting the Balance Assessment. Now, I've always been one that I don't like to call it a test. I don't like to call it necessarily a demo. I simply like to use it and just call it an assessment. I just want to assess your balance. And I've had some luck with that. But the master, the sensei, the
Let's see.
the
Wax on,
the
wax
wax
off.
on, wax off, who has done literally thousands, Kev. I mean, we have done
Oh
literally
gosh.
thousands of these assessments, and it never changes. The look on people's faces, the four-letter words that come out, um,
Mhm.
and this is something you can't unexperience, and that's why it's very important, vital that if you're doing it, let the uh, let the person who you're doing it to videotape themselves on their camera because it's very powerful because they can use it down the road. So without further delay, Kev, take it away and let's talk about the balance assessment.
Thanks, D. Okay, so as you can see by these pictures, you see a basketball. Well, you see the brother there, so it's got to be basketball in that corner. I've got a wheelchair one in the middle with a gentleman named Lee Thibault, and I've got another one on the right-hand side. And I will do this demo anywhere that there is concrete that somebody can stand on, or grass, or the beach. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to walk you through a few different things with Trey here on the left on the lateral. And I got a little tweak in the explanation, and I'm gonna play it in its entirety, and I'm gonna go back and break it down on a couple of points, and then we're gonna go into wheelchair demo and one with a senior with the dynamic with the patch on and patch off to show you a few different ways, but we're going to focus on some of the verbiage and some of the technique here. Okay, so these are the fine tuning, and I've learned this in sports medicine that technique and verbiage is a very big part of cueing a patient or a client when I'm doing a special test. So, as Terry alluded to, if I'm doing an assessment, I need to make sure that I'm in the best position for me and also as well with the individual that I'm showcasing it with. So again, we have this amazing gift that uses the power of touch. I'm sensitive to the one on the top left because I got grandkids now, right? So I learned how powerful touch can be. We know all about this with tech. And again, I got the storyline, but this is where it's all come to a whole new level of human performance with this tech. And so when we get to share this tech, so you need to, when you go into the assessment, okay, I'm going to use the A word. When you go into the assessment, you need to know, you need to know this slide in the sense from a confidence perspective. So when Terry and I started this a long time ago, we went to a high school combine in St. Louis. Okay. And we were doing the demo with these top D1 high school athletes that were on the top ones that were going on scholarships. When you talk about these numbers, and you're going to see this with the basketball one here in a few seconds here, because I have a banner that I brought into the dressing room. And you see, athletes are attracted to numbers because if you're an athlete, everything is measured. There's nothing left to chance, right? Because that's how we compare one another, especially with certain positions. So when you're able to give this metric and audience participation, if you were a basketball player and you saw these numbers on a banner, which one is going to grab your attention? Very easy. And the one at the top, Kev, like the vertical. You can give me that? Yeah, that's an average. You kidding me? So I'm going to walk you through. This is a professional basketball player, Windsor, Ontario. It's part of the Canadian Super League. Okay. You can see I actually had two banners in the background. And on the banner, we talk about numbers. So they read. I'm going to play the video in its entirety. I got some language. It's all clean. He has some language. It's not clean, but you don't hear it. You'll hear out like play it. But watch the expression of the individual. And there's a tweak that I add to this neuro test, neuro assessment. See if you catch it. I'm going to walk you back through it. And I'm going to walk you through the technique. So here we go. Professional basketball player. lateral stability demonstration. These are the shoes. All right, got running shoes on. Okay, here we go. Stand tall like a tree. Walk your right elbow straight. Make a fist. Keep your wrist tight, elbow tight, shoulder tight. I'm going to put my hand on your fist. I am slowly going to pull up on your fist. I want you to resist me. Okay? Don't let me bring your arm up. Okay, I'm going to go slow. Okay, I'm going to pull up. You push down, resist. Did you hear what he just said? The yes word. Okay, watch this. Do it again. Okay, lock and load. Get ready. I'm going to pull up. You push down, resist. If I ask you guys, if you got to make a pick, make a block, and you need more power, you got to drive in, what do you do with your jaw to get more power? Okay, he said it, not me. Trey said, clench my jaw, Kev. Okay, watch this. Trey, look at your friends. Clench your jaw like you throw me across the floor. Okay, resist. Doesn't work, does it?
No.
No. So when I put this patch on Trey's arm, let's roll your arm. There's a pattern on this patch. When I put on his skin, his nervous system picks up this pattern instantly. Watch this. Look at Antonio. Okay? Resist. Clench your jaw. Resist. Turn your head all the way to the left. Resist. He ain't going anywhere. That's crazy. When I did this with Valenzuelas, he was flipping, dropping F-bombs.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
See? He's going, what is this? It's neuro. What the I'll leave fill in the blank. But I want you to imagine this. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. We're going to do this here. We're going to walk you through a couple things here. Okay, so when you're positioning your client, and you saw what the hockey player on my another one, I did a double-handed one. So depending on your strength, you need to practice this, okay? You need to become, the term I use is bulletproof. That when you go into a demo, I got it, Kev, I'm there. So positioning of the client is critical, okay? So you notice the feet are shoulder width apart. You see I give simple instructions. I want you to stand tall like a tree. The kids get this, so does any pro athlete. Stand tall like a tree. So they stand tall like a tree. I want you to lock your right elbow, right wrist, make a fist, keep your elbow tight, wrist tight, elbow tight, shoulder tight. You got it? Tight, tight, tight. Everything's all tight on this one side. When I come back, I have it memorized. I said this so many times. I said, I am going to, and I go very succinctly on this word. I am going to slowly. I see so many people. I'm going to cry on this. I see people thinking, I got to go fast, Kit. No, no, no. When you have the world's greatest demo, you don't rush this, man. Let me tell you, you got to go slow and steady, and watch how I'm going to shoot the puck, and how I do the duck. I'm going to go slow motion. It's going to be beautiful going, because there's no trickery. There's no I gotchas. Hey, I wasn't ready. No, no. I want you to get ready. Stand tall like a tree, elbow tight, wrist tight, shoulder tight. I am slowly going to pull up on your fist. I want you to meet my resistance. I'm going to go slowly. You don't have to do this quick. And you saw, so I'm going to write it here. So I get him in position, right? Tight, tight, tight. I'm slowly going, put my hand on your fist. I'm going to slowly pull up. Don't let me lift your arm up. So he's thinking, I got this guy cold. He goes, and I begin to pull. He go offline. I stopped. I'm done. Show's over. He lost. And he swore on it. He go, OS. You can figure out the blanks, okay? So I do it again. Like I'm going to drive it in big time on this guy. So I do it again. Got no balance. Now, I'm going to stop it here because I've learned this in neurology. All the athletes in the world, everybody on the planet, I've only met like a few people in 11 years. If you needed more power to shoot a puck, make a check, hit a guy, do whatever, what would you do with your jaw to get more power? Everybody says clench. FYI, no babies sleep with their jaws clenched. Let that sink in. Babies are really smart. Why? They're looking for homeostasis. My grandkids are really smart. It's just, I'm not bragging, just telling you. I saw the pictures. So they all go, clench my jaw, Kev. So I said, you know what? You said it, not me. Remember what we said? If they say it, they believe it. I don't say, hey, you're gonna if you want to need more power, you're gonna clench your jaw, right? No, I didn't say that. What would you do? What would you do? Oh, I'm gonna clench my jaw, Kev. All right. I know what's going to happen because I learned the neurology side, right? This is where you become a student of the game. So I do it again. And, you know, when I run it here, his expression was like, I'm cooked. Like everything I thought. So they all said, everybody in the room, he said it, clench your jaw, right? Clench my jaw, Kev. Okay, let's test the theory right here, right now in the room. So we do it again. And we saw the clip. It's worse. And he goes, it doesn't work, does it? He goes, no. So now it's like, what the, again, you fill in the blanks, right? It's like, what the heck is this? Everything he has learned as a pro athlete is now shot. It's like me 11 years ago. I thought the same thing. Doesn't work. So now we put on the patch. Now, you saw it when I fast forward this. So I'm going to walk him through everything now. Jaw relaxed, clench the jaw, and turning the head. Just so you know, when you rotate the head, you change the alignment of the jaw and your balance is gone. This is why seniors don't turn their head when they walk, because they got no balance. So in sports, you have to play with your head on a swivel. And you are so vulnerable when your head's rotated and you get hit with your balance without our tech. So when our tech goes on, what happens? That guy doesn't move. He's like planted in cement, straight ahead, jaw clenched, and head rotated, and he's like tripping out. He's going, this is crazy, man. This is what we have. So you have to know that if a pro basketball player can't pass the demo, and he's a pro, I'm not a pro basketball player, and he goes, this is crazy. This is what we have. Okay, so that's how I walk you through, and then just fast forward. I know we're going to run we're going to overtime. You have to bring up the Zamboni, and I run it through again. So I do exactly the same thing, and you just take your time and enjoy this. This is like the high. I get so jacked doing this. I could do the demo forever, folks, because it works. He's like planted in cement. And then he clenches his jaw and they do it again and he doesn't move. And he's going, I had no balance. And now head rotation. And now he's anchored. And now his whole world has been blown apart. This is in less than 60 seconds. There's nothing in the world that does this. Okay. So that's the lateral stability. Now we're gonna okay. Now we're gonna run you on the dynamic. Now this is an old active ager. He's actually the equip manager for this basketball team. But he had another issue. I'm not going to get into it for the sake of the call, but I have some fun with this guy. I'm going to run it in entirety. I want you to listen to his expression. Now I do a couple things here. I'll run it through and I'll cue you in on some of the key points. Okay. And I actually take the patch off because I do like Terry said, wax on, wax off. So I'm going to run the whole thing. This is in real time. Okay. It's real time. Watch the show.
I'm going to slowly, like I did with Kai, push down on your fist. Stay tall like a tree. Okay? Don't let me bring your arms down. I'm going to go so throw my hand here. I'm going to slowly pull down. I want you to resist. Okay. See how easy it was to move you? Okay. I'll do it again. And I'm going to put the patch on. You watch the difference. Okay. So stay tight. Feet together. I'm going to pull straight down. I want you to resist. Like, it's so, okay? You see how easy?
Patch goes on.
Okay. Feet together.
Just like Trey. He ain't moving.
How sick is that?
He's like stunned. Okay? Deer in the headlights. Take it off.
Lock and load. Back into traffic jam.
Patch back on. New patch.
Okay, lock and load again.
I was generous that day. New patch. Listen to the end. Wow. So, you walk in a couple things here. Okay? Now, with this, key points. Again, I cannot stress enough. You don't have to rush the testing. It works every time. I go very slowly with people. You see the positioning, feet together, fist over fist, basically sternum CPR process if you want to look at arms at 90 degrees, fist over fist. My technique, and the reason I do it this way is I do lots of these, okay? And I've learned about using my body as leverage that I need to be in control and I need to be what's called a power position. When your arms are, you've seen some of the videos with your arms reached out straight, you're in a very weak position to do this. And I've done this, I've trained with other people who had problems and let's get together and let's do a tutorial. And when we meet up, we're going to practice a demo. So I get into position, okay? And I'll just play it forward here. And I'll stop it when I get into position. Stay tall like a tree. So I get in here, okay? Now you can see where I'm in here. So I got my right hand pulling down. I got my left hand on top, and I got my body weight. I got a lot of power here. Okay, I got 160 pounds plus gravity pulling on Phil, and I slowly pull to the point that I feel him move. So you saw in the clip, I start to pull. There, you just, as soon as you come offline, it's like you failed. Okay, I have to push very hard to it. So I do it again. And again, you don't have to lift them off their feet. I pull straight down to the floor, pull and push, and he just deviates off. Patch goes on. You know, because the term I use is lock and load, fist over fist. And again, I've been doing this for 11 years. I always get in close because they can never say, hey man, you were pulling me forward. No, they never say that to me. They feel me. They feel my force going straight down to the floor. This is assessing core stability right here. So they're locked. They're tight like a tree all the way up. Everything's locked in. If he keeps this tight, I go to pull down with the patch. We saw what the numbers with Trey. And again, I start to come down. He ain't moving. He's like planted in cement. So when you do this, when you're able to share this with a senior, this is life-changing. Okay, so again, take your time. Please, please, please. This is like the Oscar. You're going to win Best Picture every time with this demo. So I'm going to enjoy the moment on stage doing my acceptance speech like we see, and we heard again. No, enjoy the process. Last one I run through, we're just getting close for time, is I'm going to show you a seated version. You can do this with Paralympian athletes. You can do this with seniors. Okay, because seniors that have mobility issues or are very weak, they don't like standing. That's why they got a chair, they got a walker, etc. So what we do here is we do the dynamic stability. Okay, so it's safe. Why? Lee's a Paralympic. Okay, that's a story for another time in one of our calls that we had. And this was a courtesy of Karen Smith. It's a Starbucks in London. You know what's so cool with this demo? I don't know if it's in the video. I got people in the background watching the show. They're going, what's this dude doing over here in the Starbucks? No, Lee came down to see what we could do to help him in regards to his performance as a Paralympian athlete. So fist over fist. And what happens here is he's going to come forward in the chair. Okay, it's core stability. You saw Phil come off his heels. What happens in the chair is they come forward. I'll run the video. Listen to how he explains this. He's a smart guy, by the way. He went all over the world trying to rebuild his body when he had his accident. So listen to the show. This was the first Paralympian I ever got to work on, so I was like stoked.
Okay, so let's see where your strength is. So your arms may drop. You may come forward in your chair.
Got big guns, two sides of his arms. He's done a lot to rebuild his body. I'm going to pull straight down, and he comes right forward in his chair.
Okay. You have to push very hard, did I? No.
Can you guys turn around?
We're gonna do it again.
Yeah, I
Watch
just
the
wanna
two
go
girls in
first.
the background. They're going here. Don't worry, it's a great highlight.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna do it again. Watch what happens to Lee in the chair. Comes right forward, like so easy. We're gonna put on the patch. Listen to the words out of his mouth. It's like Trey, it's like Phil, it's like Lee, it's that OMG moment. Patch goes on. Older version works great because the demo is a demo. Listen to Lee at the end.
Lock and load.
I'm like stoked. Ready?
That's sick.
That's a bit different.
That's sick.
My trunk stability is a bit different. That's weird.
You feel a little different.
Yeah, it's different. Like
What kind of voodoo magic are you guys
man.
Okay. So he's going, what kind of voodoo magic is this? I did it again, by the way. I'm not going to show just for a time. I did it. I took the patch off. I did it again. The girls in the back watch. Now they're glued in, right? And he's got no stability. I put the patch on again. He's planted. He goes, "Are you like Chris Angel or something? Is this like some magic trick? Am I being punked out here, like on camera, like one of these camera shows?" He said, "This is what we have with this tech." So, if you are not comfortable, practice. You want to set up a Zoom call? Call me. We're looking to have when we have our next major convention. If I am there, which I will be, Lord willing, pull me aside. Kev, can I practice this with you? I want to be like bulletproof, like you and all the others that have been doing this going, you put me anywhere with anybody. This pattern that Jay has created works. You just got to know this, folks. It works for every single human being on the planet. I don't care what you have. You have skin, and that patch goes on. On average, 30% improvement in brain function. And that is, stop share here. That is what we have with this patch. And I can honestly say, I'm believing this till I breathe my last. In 11 years doing this demo, not one single human being has been able to pass the lateral and dynamic stability demonstration. What they know about balance has not happened. So, when I go into the demo, we're going to win. Why? All those other athletes that you see in the business slide, and I've done all those guys and girls, and they can't pass it. That's this gift that we have. So the video, I have more. We've done one with the kids and all that stuff. It's a practice technique. It's verbiage. It's your speech. It's your confidence. It's your poise. Like when I go into a room, like I'll go back to the basketball. So this is where teamwork comes in. So Mia Saddington's been around a long time, wonderful teammate. Mia made the connection with this pro basketball team. So they want to know about this. So Mia goes, "Kev, I need some backup." I says, "Kev, I'm not going in that dressing room to do the demo with these pro basketball players. I need like help, man. I need like body armor. Can you drive 2.5 hours?" So we did a Zoom call first. We set up the meeting. "Can you drive 2.5 hours to come do a presentation with a basketball team?" "Yeah." "Why?" "Because you asked. If I can make it in a schedule, I'm going. I'll live for the demo." So we go. You saw what happened. This is the moment with this tech. And so when you have this confidence and this excitement and this passion, and you've learned about neurology like Trey. "Hey, what would you do if you need more power, Trey?" "Oh, I clenched my jaw, Kev." I know exactly where this is going to go. Because we know from brain mapping what happens when you clench your jaw to your brain. It's not a good picture, trust me. It's like, wow, it doesn't work. That's a call for another time. And so this is what we have. This is where the world is at with their knowledge. They don't know what we know, but we know what we know. So on that note, if you ever need help, got to do this again. Kev, I got some teammates of mine that could we like to do a Zoom party on the demo? No problem. I can set up a Zoom. I can watch. I can cue. We can teach, and you get locked in on bulletproof, and then the world's history. Because I know where it's going to go. So I'm going to stop talking because it's 9:08 already. People are late.